can you accept your body and be kind to it, even if you don't like your body and you want to lose weight? That's the question that we're going to be answering here today. In this mini training, we are going to talk about the thing that you've done that's probably made you feel worse about your body, the difference between letting yourself go and body acceptance, because body acceptance isn't about giving up on yourself or your body. And then I'm going to share 5 tips for practicing body acceptance, even if you don't like your weight, even if you want to lose weight still, even if you practice body acceptance now, and it's going to help you feel so much better about yourself, and it's going to help you in your relationship with food, because you can't make peace with food if you're not able to accept your body. Those things are going to be at odds with each other. And I'm going to share my number 1 key mindset shift that is going to change how you approach your body image. Sound good? Now, before we dive into all of that, there is something really important and time sensitive that I need to tell you about. Next week, I am going to be hosting a brand new, totally free 60-minute masterclass called the Eating Made Easy Masterclass. It's going to be an in-depth training, and it's going to give you direction, tools, and support on your journey to listening with your body, fueling yourself unapologetically, and finding peace with food. Because eating shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be stressful. It shouldn't be confusing. It should be easy. And it can be when we know how to truly listen to our bodies and what our bodies are telling us. And when you have peace with food, you absolutely can honor your health without dieting and without feeling deprived. I'm offering the Eating Made Easy Masterclass at 3 separate times live, so hopefully you can make it to one of them. I tried to do a variety of times and days to match people's schedules. And if you show up live, you get an extra special bonus for being there. So go check out the time slots that are available at nondietacademy.com/masterclass. If you can't make it live, that is totally okay. Go ahead and sign up for one of them, and I will email you the replay after it's over. This is going to be amazing, and I absolutely cannot wait to share it with you. And it's going to be one of the best trainings I've ever done, hands down. Okay, moving on to today's training, which is all about body acceptance. Here we go. A little bit of tough love to start things off with. You're not going to find peace with food unless you learn to tolerate and accept your body. Like I mentioned a minute ago, these two things go hand in hand. And so if you want to have peace with food, working on body acceptance is going to be part of the work. I think some people want to have peace with food, but they still don't want to accept their bodies, and it doesn't work that way. And the reality is that body acceptance can be hard. This is not easy work that we are doing here. We have been trained from such a young age to not like our bodies and to want to fix our bodies. And the thing is, not liking your body is what got you into this mess in the first place. Not liking your body is what led you to want to diet, to want to try and change your body, to want to try and fix your body. And now we're all sorts of mixed up about food. And now we're all sorts of confused about what we should do and shouldn't do with our eating. Probably if you've done a lot of yo-yo dieting, it's driven your weight up and up and up over time. And so much of this just wreaks havoc on our self-esteem and our body image. 79% of Americans report that they don't like their bodies. This is a widespread thing. This is something that most people can relate to on some level. 91% of women have dieted in order to try and change or fix their bodies. So this is something that almost every single person has felt compelled to do at some point in their life. And the thing is, we're not going to hate ourselves into body acceptance. You don't hate yourself into liking yourself. That's not how that works. So what if there were a different way? What if there were something else that we could do that was going to help us learn to be able to be more kind and compassionate towards ourselves? That is what I want to help you with here. So let's think about it this way. You've probably heard the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that's essentially what dieting is. Diet culture keeps rebranding all these different forms of like healthy eating and different things to do that are supposedly going to help you try to lose weight. And what ends up happening is it all backfires in the long run, and it's all the same crap repackaged, but they make it sound all sexy and new and appealing, but it's the same thing. And if we keep doing that and expecting that, you know, one of these days they're going to be the magic thing that does suddenly fix the way that we are eating and fix the way that we feel our bodies, then we wouldn't be here having this conversation. So that you want to learn how to accept your body. Because the truth is, a lot of us don't want to accept our bodies. We want to lose weight so that we can accept our bodies, but we don't want to accept our bodies as they are right now. And I'm not suggesting that if you work on accepting your body as it is right now, that you're giving up or that you can't or won't ever lose weight or that your body won't ever change. Your body absolutely will, and that's what the body does. I'm not saying that you have to let go of any of those hopes and dreams. What I am saying is that in the here and now, you can learn to tolerate the body that you are in, to exist fully the way that you sleep, the way that you move. It is going to change the way that you interact with yourself and the way that you carry yourself throughout the world. And here's another thing to think about. This work is probably going to rattle you to your core because it goes so much deeper than just body positivity or like faking feeling good about yourself. This goes down to the core of how we feel about ourselves as human beings. So, what exactly is body acceptance? Body acceptance means learning how to I'm trying to find words for it here. Body acceptance means recognizing that like your body is what it is in this moment. And we can't change it right now. So we can accept that this is what we've got to work with right now. And we can be kind to ourselves and to ask ourselves, what does your body need? I want you to think back, like how old were you when you started not liking your body? How old were you when you first wanted to change your body? For most of us, this goes back to childhood, maybe teenage, even younger. And I want you to have compassion for that younger version of yourself that so desperately wanted to feel better about themselves. And the thing is, there are a lot of things that are more important in life than your gravitational pull. That's all your weight is. It's your gravitational pull. That's what the scale is measuring. There are a lot of things on this planet that are more important than that. And we live in a world that forgets this. We live in a world that acts as if this is the most important thing about ourselves. But I'm here to tell you that you as a human shape your body. And a lot of the fear mongering that happens out there about health and weight is based on exaggerated claims, sketchy research, and it's not that there's no correlation between health. Dieting is also still not the solution because dieting is a known predictor of future weight gain. It's known to increase inflammation within the body and to create more health problems than it solves and to drive your weight up over time. And so even if we say, okay, yes, there are certain health conditions that correlate with a person being at a higher weight, that still doesn't make dieting the solution. And it doesn't mean that hating yourself is going to change that. We can learn how to take care of ourselves in ways that are much more effective when we're not on the hamster wheel of dieting. So how do you work on body acceptance? It is about accepting that your body has a genetically predetermined size that it wants to be. Now, yes, that set point weight, that's what we call that set point weight will change over time, and that's okay. But your body does have genetically where it kind of wants to be right now. And trying to fight against that ends up being pretty futile and often causes more damage to your body and to your metabolism in the long run. We also have to accept that dieting and restricting and depriving yourself isn't helping. Again, it's making things worse. And then we also have to accept that bodies will change throughout your life. Between now and the day that you die, your body is going to change. And fighting against that is pretty unproductive. Body acceptance also means accepting that no matter how badly you want to change your body, battling against it is not helpful. Battling against your body is not going to help you get to the point of feeling at ease with yourself. Hating your body has not worked. It's like, do you remember those Chinese finger traps when you were kids? Those things where like you stick your fingers in both ends of it, and then as you're pulling them, they get more and more stuck when you're trying to get your fingers out. And the way to get out of the Chinese finger trap is to like relax and then kind of gently slide one out. That's basically what we're doing here, is that hating your body and trying to pull against it is making things worse. So if we can think of it as a continuum, okay? On this end of the continuum, we have like absolute body hatred. You can't stand yourself. You can't tolerate the idea of even being in this body for one more minute. And then we've got body positivity over here. And honestly, it's two sides of the same coin, because whether you're at body hatred or body positivity, we're putting a lot of energy into how you feel about your body. And what we want to do is instead work on body acceptance, which can occur anywhere along this continuum. And you can accept your body. You can accept the aspects of your body that you don't particularly like, the parts that you wish were different. You can accept that, and you can treat yourself with kindness and compassion and respect. And we can learn to do things to help ourselves that are going to help us feel better about ourselves because we're taking better care of ourselves. You don't have to love or feel confident in your body in order to accept it. That is not a prerequisite here. And I get that some people are just never going to feel that way, and that's okay. Moving away from body hatred starts with choosing to not treat your body as if you despise it. You don't have to treat yourself like you hate yourself. We get it. We know. You know, your body's like, yeah, I know. I'm well aware that you don't like me. You don't have to treat your body that way. In fact, we tend to take better care of things that we love. And we can love things that have their imperfections and have the things that we wish were different. Okay, 5 tips for body acceptance. Number 1 is utilize within the self-compassion framework called RAIN. So it's an acronym. It stands for recognize, acknowledge, investigate, and nurture. So when you're having one of those moments where you're just recognize that you are feeling this way, just notice it, name it, experience it, take a deep breath. That's always a good starting point. I like to put my hands over my chest. That for me helps me remember compassion. And then to investigate it, to be curious, like, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's going on? Was there something that kind of triggered this, or is there a reason I'm feeling insecure about myself today? And then we're going to move into the nurturing part. So we've recognized and we've acknowledged what's happening. That's the RA. The I is to investigate it, to be curious about what's going on. And then the N is to nurture yourself with kindness. What can you do to be kind to yourself today? And it might mean doing something like speaking words of kindness to yourself, to say something like, I am worthy of love and respect no matter what my body looks like. It might also mean a little bit of fierce self-compassion and saying, and I'm not going to avoid doing the things I want to do today. And I'm not going to restrict myself, and I'm not going to punish myself through not eating or through making myself eat things that seem healthy because I feel bad about my body today. You can be kind of your own mama bear and say, no, I'm going to be nice to myself today, and I'm going to listen to my body and give it what it needs. That's also self-compassion. It's just the fierce side of it. It's that energy that's got a little bit of sass to it. And then the second tip for body acceptance is to dress in something that feels good. So especially on one of those days where you're not feeling great about yourself, putting on something that doesn't feel good, that is kind of like itchy and uncomfortable or kind of tight, or it's like pulling on certain areas, it's just going to make you more fixated on and more aware of your body in a negative way throughout the day. So on those days, put on something that's maybe like soft and cozy and comfy, that allows you to feel comfortable in your body, and that allows you to not be constantly reminded of the discomfort in your body. You will be shocked at what a difference that makes. Tip number 3, when you're having one of these hard days, is to stay away from the scale. If you're wanting to learn how to accept your body, and you're wanting to learn to not fixate so much on your weight, constantly getting on the scale is not going to help you. It's just going to fuel that obsession and that judgment that you have against yourself. Even for people who have done really, really good work with body acceptance and they're in a pretty good place with it, stepping on the scale and seeing that number can very much throw them off. It can mess with our heads in ways that are just so frustrating, because we've been told for so long that that number going up means we're doing something bad, and that number going down means that we're doing something good. And so seeing that number and seeing how it might have changed since the last time we were on the scale, or maybe it didn't change and you wish that it did, it just plays mind games with us. It's not going to help you. Tip number 4 is to manage your self-talk. This is where we do some of that mindset work, because we get to notice what's going on in our own heads and what are the stories that we are telling ourselves about our bodies. Because the stories that we are telling ourselves are often things that we have been taught to think. And again, you're not less worthy as a person. You don't suck because of the way that your body looks. You're not a failure. You don't lack willpower. You're not lazy. Those judgments that we have assigned to certain body types, those are constructs of our society. That's what weight stigma and anti-fat bias is built upon. And when we start to tell ourselves those stories, it just starts to feel more and more true. And so if you can notice your self-talk and choose to talk to yourself with more kindness, it's going to change how you feel about yourself, because you're literally going to be talking to yourself differently. And I'm not saying gaslight yourself. And I'm not saying, again, you have to go all body positive, because I actually don't think that's super helpful. I'm just saying you can talk yourself off the ledge and say, I'm not going to fixate on my body all day. I have more important things to do. Or you can say, this is really, really hard, and I'm having a really bad day with my body image. And I'm not going to sit here and berate myself for that. I'm going to go do something that brings me joy or comfort. Those are the types of things we can say to ourselves instead of staying in the negative thought loop all day long. And here's a little kind of hack for that. If you wouldn't say it to a friend, don't say it to yourself. So if your friend came and said, oh, I just really don't like my body today, you wouldn't be like, yeah, you're such a loser, you need to go to the gym. That's not how you would talk to your friend. So don't talk to yourself. Talking to yourself about all of the things that you hate and that you wish were different. That's not going to help you feel better. And then the other thing is, don't comment on other people's bodies. Even if it's just a joke, just try not to comment about bodies in general, because what that does is it just keeps us collectively as a society preoccupied and judgmental about bodies. And that's not helping anybody. Okay, tip number 5, reconnect with your why. Here's what I mean by that. Why do you want to feel differently about your body? Why do you wish that you felt better and more comfortable in your own skin? Because here's the thing, your value as a human being is not dependent on your weight, the size of your pants, or the cellulite on your thighs. That's not how that works. So if you think about, why are you tired of fighting against your body? Why are you tired of this being such a day in, day out battle? What would you do differently? How might life be different if you didn't hate your body every single day? Connect with that. Maybe you would carry yourself with more confidence. Maybe you would go out and do things that you've been avoiding. Maybe you would go to karaoke night, or maybe you would try tennis lessons. Maybe you would find But the thing is, you can change how you feel about your body here and now, and you can start living a life according to your values without it being contingent upon your body changing. And you will be shocked at what it is about yourself and how you feel about life day in and day out. Is there weight stigma in the world? Yes. Are there things that people in larger bodies might not be able to do? Yes. That still doesn't have to disqualify you from going out and doing things and from living life that you want to live, living that life that you envision yourself living if only you liked your body. You can start doing some of those things now. And here's that number 1 key mindset shift that I want you to really, if this is the only thing that you take away from today, this is what I want it to be, is that even on the days that you don't like a single thing about your body, you can still choose to practice kindness, body respect and body acceptance, because it is a choice. It's not dependent on how you feel. It's a choice that you are making within to practice being kind to yourself, to practice taking care of your body, to practice respecting your body, and to practice accepting that this is the body that you have here and now and today. And you can do that. You can choose to do that. It might be hard as all get out. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But you can choose to do that. And you will be shocked at what a difference this makes. You are literally forming new neural pathways in your brain to relate to yourself and your body differently. And it will take a lot of repetition. And there will be days where you're just like, oh, I can't do it. That's okay. I promise you, with enough repetition, you're going to feel an internal shift. And it's going to start to work. It's going to start to click. Again, I'm not even asking you to like your body. You may never like your body, and that is okay. You can still accept it. You can still treat yourself with kindness and respect. We want your feelings about your body to take up less space in your life in general. We want the way that you feel, whether it be positive or negative, to not really matter that much, because you're busy living life according to the things that you actually value. And I can promise you this. When you're doing this, when you're accepting your body, even if you never lose weight, your life will be more fulfilling if you practice. Okay, that's what I have here today. Don't forget to go grab your spot in my masterclass that's happening next week, the Eating Made Easy masterclass. Go to nondietacademy.com/masterclass. You can grab your spot for free there. If you show up live, you get an extra bonus guide that I'll be giving out. And I can't wait to show you how to make food less stressful and how that goes hand in hand with body acceptance. When we can make peace with food, we can make peace with our bodies. Those two things go hand in hand together. And I can't wait to walk you through a deep dive in this in-depth training next week. It's going to be absolutely incredible. nondietacademy.com/masterclass. I hope to see you there. If you can't make it live, I will email you the replay, but you have to be signed up so that I have your email address to send it to. If you have any questions, let me know. You can drop questions about body acceptance in the comments if you're watching this in the replay, and I'll circle back and answer those later. And I am just so grateful and honored that you were here and that you watched this today. And I hope that there was something that clicked for you or some little aha moment. And if there was, I would love to hear what it was. Either comment or DM me to tell me about it, because I love hearing those things, and that's what lights me up, and that's why I do these mini trainings. Okay, have an amazing day, and we will talk soon.